Well, what does this cat sitting on top of what looks like a file box have to do with woodworking? Well, that and more, including ways to store sandpaper, coming up next. Hello there and welcome to WB Fun Woodworking. I'm Don. I've noticed on Facebook recently a lot of different posts, people asking about how to store sandpaper. I have a way of storing my sheets of sandpaper and my discs of sandpaper that are pretty handy. So I thought today I'd share with you what I have. Now please understand that the method that I have for storing those are things that were made by someone else. I didn't make them. But the reason I'm showing this is that you could easily make these boxes for your own storage needs, and they might even fit better into your shop than these fit into mine. I found this sandpaper storage box to be a really handy addition to my shop. They don't make them anymore, but making one of these might be pretty easy. That's one reason I'm showing them in this video. I found this to be really flexible. When I want to add sandpaper to one of my grits here, like I did the other day with the 220, I was running out, so I ordered 50 sheets from Klingspor. And it just moved everything up a little bit, but as you can see, I have plenty more room, so I could do that for some of my other grits as well. Construction of this box is very simple. The sides and the back and the bottom are made out of 1/2 inch, probably particle board, but you could use plywood. These little cleats here that they have are 3/8, but you could still use 1/2 inch. You wouldn't have to buy some 3/8 plywood just to do that little section. What's really neat is that each of these dividers has this little lip on it that sticks behind that, and so they don't pull out. You can just lift it up and get whatever grit that you need very easily. As you can see here, they made this just about as cheaply as they could. They just countersunk screws and screwed it together. Very simple construction. Now you could make dovetails and do all kinds of fancy things if you wanted, but the screws just hold it great. They've done the same with the back. On here, the bottom is just screwed in. These are holes that you could use to hang it on the wall. I usually store it in a drawer. These dividers are made out of masonite that's been covered in a plastic kind of coating. You could use that material that they use that has the white plastic coating on it. That would work pretty well, or just plain masonite. So this is a box that could easily be made, and you could use it to store your sandpaper. Okay, this is another storage box that I use for sandpaper. This holds the discs that I use for my 5-inch Festool sander. And again, I didn't make it. It actually was a Rockler product. Rockler doesn't make them anymore. They actually had them on sale one day for practically nothing because they were trying to get rid of them. I think what happened is the quality control was very terrible on these, and so they just wanted to get rid of them. Well, I was editing the video for this, and I noticed that I had 2 of the shelves reversed. So I have mine set up for 80 grit, 120 grit, 180, 220, and 320. Yes, they didn't have a label for 320, but that's what I have on top. One of the great features of this box is that I can pull out any grit. Let's say I'll use 220. I can put that up on top, and you may have noticed it has some little white pins that stick up. All I have to do is take my sander get it to the point where it's on those pins, and the sandpaper is now adhered to my sander. So I know some of you will say, well, I don't have a Festool sander, so will this work with my sander? Well, it actually didn't work with the Festool sander. I had to change the pattern of these white posts. I'll take the sandpaper off here. And you can see that it came with different holes here. And those fit a Bosch sander that I had pretty well. But when I switched over to the Festool, they didn't have any pre-drilled holes for me. So very simple, I just drilled some holes in the plastic and actually glued them in. And you can see on the back, I didn't use the holes that were there, but I put those in there, and it works really great. So that would be something that you could do. You could just make the holes for whatever sander you have. Now, of course, since I said they don't make these anymore, some of you are saying, well, why are you showing this to me? It'd be something very simple to make. 1/2-inch plywood, some small dowels, and you could easily put one of these together. I took all the shelves out to show that construction is just real simple. They, again, butt jointed everything together. They use glue and staples. You could use that or do something different. The back is just butt jointed onto the back. And the shelves slide in and out on dados. Now realize that this isn't sandpaper. This is actually micro mesh pads that I use on the lathe. And I had needed a way to organize them. They're easy to lose. So I bought this little storage thing from Rockler. I think it was a little overpriced, but that was okay. I mounted it on a piece of actually real mahogany that I had left over from back in the 60s. It used to be a shelf on the back of my headboard on my bed. But I mounted this metal piece to the wood. I actually put some magnets on the back here, and they will attach to the top of my lathe. But this is real easy to use for these micro mesh pads. You just pull the bottom one out. They slide down, and you put the bottom one up on the top, and you have the next grit ready to go. So it's a great organizer for those people that use micro mesh pads like this on their lathe. And this is the easy way to mount it. They even on the side here list the different grits. So it goes from 1,500 up to 12,000. That's what the grits are that I have in this little dispenser. I'll show this being used in a video that's coming up. I'm turning some wooden handles for Christmas gifts. So this will be used during that video. This is where I mount the micro mesh storage system on my lathe. The row of magnets I showed earlier in the video attaches to this piece of metal at the top of my lathe. I hope you found this video helpful. These two boxes are something that would be easy for you to make, and you probably could come up with a way to fit them better into your shop, better even than these two fit into my shop. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and leave any questions or comments that you might have. I greatly appreciate all of you who have subscribed to my channel. We've picked up some new subscribers recently, and that's great. Thank you all very much for watching.